When did you realise, or maybe your parents realised, that actually you've got something really special here? Was there a defining moment where it was like, actually, my future is music?
He is unreal. I mean, like his work is some of the best in the world.
What would be your favourite song, or the one that means the most to you?
You know, when I sold out Shepherd's Bush Empire, I came backstage and the label dropped me. I was just screamed and hugged this stranger on the bus. I was like, oh my God. This woman was like, what? I was like, I'm going to be on the James Corden show. She was like, oh my God, it's amazing. Just hugged this stranger.
This episode of All Things Business, the podcast, is brought to you by digital media partner DFA Law. DFA Law, providers of expert and dedicated legal advice to businesses and families since 1838. DFA Law, the law firm for life.
Billy Lockett.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
No, you're very welcome. I want to really get to know you over the course of this episode, because Northampton, born and bred.
Mm-hmm.
I first heard your music probably about 18 months ago.
Nice.
And I was like, that is a definite version of, or mashed up version of, Lewis Capaldi meets Ed Sheeran. And as I've got to know your music, I'm going to chuck Adele in there as well.
Yeah.
Just because some of your stuff I have to be in a right frame of mind to listen to.
Yeah.
And then other stuff I'll just play it, kamikaze.
Yeah, man, that's
night.
a fun one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You could put that on any day of the week, but
interesting.
I could use a friend. I was like, when I first heard that, I'm coming off. I'm like, wow, that's a.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. But good, because, and that's where some of the greatest songwriters have, when you actually digest the words.
Yeah.
I'll give you this as well. Most people know that I'm a Take That fan. But if you ever listen to the words babe, right, you're like, oh my God, that's a deep song as well.
Right, I don't know it.
I'm not going to sing it for you. So listen, take me back to where it all started. So Northampton, where did you go to school?
Yeah, okay. So I went to boys' school. And,
Mr. Lee?
Mr. Lee, yeah, I remember Mr. Lee, Mr. Jew Snap. Did you go to boys' school as well? No.
But I feel like I did, because Matt Lee always, I still have to call him sir. I didn't even get to go to school.
Yeah, nice. But funny thing is, actually, I wasn't allowed to do the music course at NSB because I didn't read music. And so I've never had a lesson in anything, really. So they wouldn't let me in.
Really?
So I couldn't do the course. Yeah. And so in lunchtimes, I would just sort of sneak into the music room and just play the piano. And they would kind of they weren't massively happy about it, but they kind of just sort of let me get on with it.
When you say play the piano, where did that come from? Like,
I don't know, actually. Weirdest thing is my mum got a piano when I was 8. She got it for herself to learn, and she kind of gave up after a few hours, if I'm honest. And then I could just always play piano. I could just play piano.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I played piano, the first time I sat there, I could just play. And I remember my mum and dad. I remember the look on their face was they were quite scared at first, because it just didn't make any sense. Basically, I'd never seen a piano.
How is he doing this?
Yeah. That's why sometimes I'm like, maybe reincarnation is a thing, because it doesn't make any sense. I've just always been able to play the piano, pretty much the same way I do now.
Really?
It's weird, yeah.
And can you play any of the musical instruments?
Guitar I learned. Guitar was always a bit of a struggle, really, to me, because it just hurts. You know what I mean? And you're playing it and you're like, this can't be right. It just kills. And I never really got into the whole bar chords thing. And I don't know, I don't really... don't get me wrong, there's a couple of songs on the album and a couple of songs on the new album that are guitar songs. But I'm definitely not a guitarist by any stretch of the imagination.
When did you realise, or maybe your parents realised, that actually you've got something really special here? Was there a defining moment where it was like, actually, my future is music?
Yeah, I think my mum was always really keen on me going to uni and getting my grades, and because she was just a bit freaked out by the idea of me trying to be a rock star, because it's just not very stable or likely, even if you're good. And my dad was very much adamant that this is what I was going to be and do. and they would have these huge arguments with each other on my mum trying to take me down the education route, and my dad going, he doesn't need to go to school, he's going to do a gig, you know.
Because your dad was a very talented artist.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. Is it 78 Derngate? Did he have an exhibition there?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I saw that online, and there's some incredible paintings there.
He is unreal. I mean, like his work is some of the best in the world, and critically acclaimed as one of the best in the world. And I think that kind of scared me a bit, because he never really made it. You know, he never really made a lot of money, really, and he was never really known as this like critically acclaimed artist until he died. Sadly, that was when people started to sort of like take notice of it. And he was really good, you know. And so sometimes I do think, oh God, like, is being good in the arts, like, is that even that important, you know? Or is it like about being a good businessman and being in the right place at the right time and being a nice guy and all these other things, you know?
It's all of those things, and it's surrounding yourself by, you know, the right people.
The right people, yeah. I know, it's just a shame, isn't it? Because you hope that the work is like 80%, you know, but it's actually more like 40%, you know.
Yeah, and it's not also what you know, it's who you know as well. It's having that individual or those people to open those doors for you. But it must have been a very proud moment when your dad's work got commissioned there. Yeah. How did that come about?
Oh, it was amazing. How did it come? Oh yeah, I did a gig at the Lewis Foundation. Do you know the charity Lewis Foundation? Yeah. And I...
Is that Fawsley Hall?
At Fawsley Hall.
Yeah.
What a place, man. Oh my God. I know, I was thinking about getting a room there that night and staying. And then I was like, oh, how much is a room? And they were like £700 for like one night or something. Okay, no, I'm driving home. But I did the gig there, and then and the mayor was there. The mayor and mayoress were there. And I ended up... the mayoress came over to me, and I recognised her from somewhere, and she said, "Oh, you bought my piano." So like 3 years ago, on Facebook Marketplace, I saw this grand piano for sale for like, I don't know, 300 quid or something, and that was before she was even the mayor. And then I just went over and met her and played and actually wrote the whole album on that piano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then 3 years later, I bump into her, and she kind of said, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm the person you bought the piano off," and it all like rang a bell.
Yeah.
And then we got chatting, and she wanted me to play at her Mayor's Guild, like Mayor's Ball, I think.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about my dad and how he was an artist, and you know, and we just started spitballing ideas, and she just really wanted to get on board and help create an exhibition of his work. And I was saying how, you know, it was 10 years since he died, and it was also his birthday as well.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, it's just a perfect...
Very poignant.
Yeah, and I'd never shown any work of his for the 10 years. I've just been like hiding it in this attic in his old house, and just waiting for the right
opportunity,
moment.
Moment.
I wanted to do it right, and I wanted it to be in a cool venue, and 78 Derngate has a huge waiting list, but the mayor, Liz, she just sorted that, you know, and we were, and coincidentally my photographer already had an exhibition in the other room for the same month, so I was like, this is just meant to be
together. Yeah.
So we ended up doing a joint thing, you know.
Brilliant.
And it was great for him because he got a bit more press from it, and it's weird how the universe sometimes just works out, you know, everything comes together.
And then I saw on your Instagram as well a couple of weeks ago, you took a piano to a local school.
Yeah.
That
Greenfields,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, man, that's an amazing place. I can't remember the first time I went there. I think, that was it. I did Northampton Music Festival, and there was one of the people working there, volunteering, was the headmistress at the school.
Yeah.
And she said, "I'd love for you to come in and meet all the kids." And
the reaction from the kids was just
they're legends, aren't they? And now I'm really getting to know them now. You know, I've been there quite a few times, and I know like all their names, and you know, there's a couple of kids there that are really talented. You know, like there's one kid, he's an amazing pianist, incredible, and I posted a load of stuff on my Instagram of him playing, and he'd and when I delivered the piano, he learnt I Could Use a Friend.
Oh.
And then we all like sat around and listened, and they're so respectful, you know. They're really nice kids, and like every time someone like has to do something, if someone's going to sing or if someone's going to play piano, it's kind of like everyone like really respects it.
Yeah.
You know,
got that. Yeah.
But when they're not, it's just chaos. It's absolute. It's like everyone's just hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You walk in there, it's
chaos. And take us back. When I said earlier about that combination, I said mishmash. I should have said combination of Adele in terms of the seriousness and the deepness of some of the lyrics that you have written, complemented by, say, Sheeran and Capaldi. What would be your favourite song, or the one that means the most to you?
I think probably I Could Use a Friend is just, yeah, it's just symbolises me as a person, really, and I feel like that was the first song that I wrote where I was like really starting to think about the lyrics, and I was really starting to think, okay, how do we just like keep people focused for 3 minutes 15, you know, in this like trance, you know, and it was the sort of start of a new sound for me. I know it's still piano and vocal, and that's what I've kind of always done, but there was just something about that song that felt like a step up.
And did you notice that as soon as it?
Yeah, I just felt like everything about it, just the way I was playing the chords, everything about it just felt like me, like it wasn't. I think everything else I've ever released, I've been influenced by people, and I guess you're always naturally influenced, but that was the first song where I was like, oh God, maybe this is my sound, you know, and it just felt right. And now the second out, now all I'm writing is that kind of thing. But yeah, it's super honest, super real.
How long did it take you to write it?
I had the chorus already, and then I brought it in to a couple of mates, and we all sort of sat down and wrote the verses in a day, really. Wrote and recorded it in a day. Yeah, it's a pretty quick song. I mean, some of the ones on the second album I've spent 3-4 months writing them, you know.
Because one of the things, like linking music, the arts, to business, if you like, commercially, it's not like you're manufacturing content or creating that content, but you can't put a timestamp on it, because it's not like you can say, right, I'm going to go and write a song today. Yeah,
you never know how long it's going to take. It could take 5 minutes or week,
but at the same
months.
time, if you've got, do you ever have any type of pressure on you in terms of deadlines for albums and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, my management are kind of like, okay, we sort of do need the album soon, please. You know.
But is that soon? Is that like 6 weeks? Is it 3 months?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm supposed to have it finished very soon, and I've done 2 songs, and I'm going on tour till June now, so that's never happening.
Sorry, management.
But it kind of just happens. You know what? It's finished when it's ready when it's ready.
Because
really.
You can't force it. Because if you do, it's gonna.
You don't want to force it, and even with the writing process of it, you come to things, and then a lot of the time now I don't even really bother recording anything until it stays with me and it's stuck. You know, there's a lot of ideas that end up just disappearing into the ether, and I'm kind of like okay with that now. I used to kind of voice note everything and try and hold on to everything, and now it's like, you know, if it's good, I'll remember it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I get that. And have you got like a go-to sort of group of people that you might say, right, let's lock ourselves away or go away for a weekend and just concentrate on writing a couple of songs, or that being the objective?
Sometimes I do that. I definitely got like a set of people I like writing with. But recently I'm just liking writing on my own. You know,
and do you think that's
or with like a friend, or with like a really good friend?
There's nothing to do with music.
Yeah, like one of my mates, Amanda. I've written the last 2 songs on the second album with her, and she's actually a primary school teacher. You know,
really?
But she just loves music and is very into my genre, and just knows she's got. Can you swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a really good shit filter, so she just knows whether something's right or wrong. You know, and so I'll just be like, "What does that feel?" Something. She's very in tune with like a gut feeling. So sometimes that's all you need, really. Would you say that that's almost like you coming of age now then, in terms of, because I look back on my life as a father and as a husband, but also as being in business, and there are career defining moments or life defining moments. Do you think this is you now, in terms of this is your space now? Yeah, I think I know how to write a song now, and you know, I know what I'm doing. I just need someone who's a fan of my genre to actually. It's almost like, you know, I've got the guinea pig there.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry, Amanda. I'm sort of calling you a guinea pig, but you know, like I can test it on someone who's into my music already, So it's instant, you know.
So I'm intrigued to know how Hard Act to Follow and James Corden. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so I wrote the song with the drummer from Razorlight, Andy Burrows, and he's a good writer. I mean, like, he's written some big songs. He's written a lot with Tom O'Dell, and I mean, he's done loads of big stuff. And we got on really well, actually. I think we've become pretty good friends now. And we wrote this song. The label hated it. You know, we showed it to. I was with Warner at the time. We showed it to them. They were just like average at best. They didn't want to release it, and so they dropped me about 3 or 4 weeks after I'd written it. And I kind of said to them, "Oh, can I have that song back? Seeing as you didn't like it." And they were like, "Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, have it." And then Andy was staying at the Cordens. So Andy's family friends with the Cordens because I think it's his wife is really good friend, almost best friends with Corden's wife, and their kids are all friends, and they all play. Yeah. So regularly they go over and stay. And he was just over there, and he messaged me, and he was like, "Oh, I'm at James Corden's house. I'm going to play him the song. You know, would you mind if I did that? And if he likes it, he might get you on the show." And I was just like, obviously, yes.
Let me think about that, Andy.
Yeah. And and then by some miracle, a week after the contract was fully over and I owned the song, James Corden got in touch with me. I was on a bus in London, in Peckham, and I just got this email. I just screamed and hugged this stranger on the bus. I was like, "Oh my God." This woman was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm going to be on the James Corden show." She was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing." Just hugged this stranger. Yeah, life-changing.
What was that like?
Oh my God, incredible. I'd never even been to America before.
Really?
You know? Yeah, so that was my first time in LA. I mean, LA don't really personally like it that much. It's not really me. But great experience. Yeah. You know, it was amazing because the show is so professional as well. And the sound was incredible, and the whole crew and everything about it was just mind-blowing. And it's a relatively easy gig because you're only doing one song.
Yeah.
Really, and the piano was like beautiful, and everything was all there. Very surreal moment. Played the song. I feel like I nailed it. I feel like I did a really good job of it. And then it's just like the dream moment. Standing ovation. James runs over and hugs me. He actually calls me a superstore. I think he meant to say superstar, but he was like, "Billy Lockett, you are a superstore." I always play that back. I'm like, oh God. But yeah, no, it was a beautiful moment, man. And then the coolest thing is you go back to the so you film it at like 6, and then it's on at about 10, 11.
Oh, so you watch it back.
So you go back to the hotel and you can like watch it. Yeah.
Nice. How is Hard Act to Follow doing?
Oh, great, man. I mean, that song ended up, because of that, it ended up, getting millions and millions, tens of millions of streams, and I bought a house out of it. So it was a total, because I owned it as well. So it was a bit of a fluke, really. I wouldn't have got anything if the label owned it. So yeah,
the label missed out on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they're not fussed.
Yeah, of course.
But still, it was nice that I managed to have a little moment of luck with it.
No, you got a big year ahead of you. You're in fact, when this gets released, I think you'll be on tour. So how excited are you for the rest of this year? Yeah,
man, I'm just pleased to be working. And sometimes with this job, you can end up having half a year where you're just not doing anything, and you're just waiting for the phone to ring. And it feels like since the Dean Lewis tour, everything has it's just been one thing after another. It's interesting how it just starts to snowball. And now we've got this, the track with Goddard's just come out.
Oh, I love that, by the way.
Thank you, man.
That's a gym track.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
If anyone listening and you need something fresh to put onto your playlist, to go onto the treadmill at, even if you're running like I do at like number 6 or whatever, like that's a tune. I'll definitely add that in.
Yeah, it's flying, man. And it's done 100,000 streams in a couple of days, and Radio 1 premiered it on the release day. And
because Joe Wiley's been a big fan.
Yeah, Joe Wiley's always been a big support. I think it's because we're both like Northampton people.
Yeah,
we've got this common ground. But yeah, the European tour's starting on Friday. I think pretty much the whole thing's sold out, and Oh, it's just easy. Everything just feels easy now.
Well, yeah, but we're forgetting as well Royal Albert Hall.
Oh yeah,
I mean, what the?
3 sold out nights at Royal Albert Hall.
I mean, that's
crazy.
Is that got to be one of the proudest moments?
Yeah, probably. But the weirdest thing is, I was talking to one of my mates about this. I came off stage and I kind of just sort of felt like the same as I would if I was coming off any stage. It's really strange how the feeling, I don't know whether I'm like just getting used to shows now. It just kind of feels like, just feels like another day at the office. I know that sounds bad. No. When I'm on stage, I love it. And when I'm singing with the fans, and that's a beautiful moment. And I love every moment of that. But when you come off, it's kind of like you're thinking, oh, damn it, I should have said that bit differently. But I probably should have like longed out that middle 8 a bit more. I think tomorrow I'll do that. And, you're just
critiquing.
Yeah, you're just trying to get on and get ready for the next thing. So I'm finding it hard to feel like really buzzed and excited about things because I'm too busy worrying about getting everything right so I don't lose it again, because I've been at moments in my career where it's been like this and it's all gone wrong, so I'm just trying to get it right.
Would you say you're a perfectionist?
I like to get it right. I like to get everything that I'm doing right. I don't know whether that's I guess I try and be a perfectionist, but like I feel like that's impossible, really, isn't it, to be a perfectionist? But yeah, I just don't want to mess up anything about this. I just want to be the best, and the only way you can do that is by focusing on everything that's wrong rather than everything that's right.
No, I get that. And I mean, James Arthur is here in the summer.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, I had 15,000, I think. It's crazy in my hometown as well. What a moment.
Where were you when you found out about that?
Where was I? I think I was in my cellar, actually, and I got a call. It's just weird, isn't it? Because it feels like I saw that he was playing, and instantly I saw he was playing, and I called the mayoress, and I was like, "Oh, please tell me you know who's organising this," and she did, and she gave me the contact details, and it just feels like everything we go for, we get right now. It's like this weird moment where the stars are aligning, and also even with Goddard, he's from Northampton as well.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he's from Northampton. It's like the biggest drum and bass DJ at the moment. It just happens to be from the same small town that I'm from. I mean, he's from Kettering technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
Northamptonshire has got many talented people. Not
we're in a little wave at the moment.
I
think. Yeah, there's some real special things happening here at the moment, and it's nice to be a part of it. I think it's been a long time since the town had something like this happening.
For sure. And so from I have a vision board. So in our ensuite, I've got a board and I've got certain things on there because it's the last thing I see before I go to bed.
Interesting.
And it's the first thing I see when I get up in the morning. I haven't achieved all of them, but I've chalked a couple of off and replaced them.
Right.
Do you have something similar? I'm not asking if you've got a vision board, but do you have something similar in terms of, right, I'm going to support James Arthur this year, but do you know what? Next year, I want to be headlining here. Do you have that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I try to, but at the same time, like, music is so illogical and erratic that you never know what's going to happen. You really don't. I mean, when I sold out Shepherd's Bush Empire, I came backstage and the label dropped me that night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so it's very confusing. So you can never really plan too much, and then you don't get let down as well. I think the most important thing I'm trying to get is just like keep getting better at production, keep learning, how to be, the best songwriter I can be. And really everything else is kind of like out of your control. Get the right management, get the right team, surround yourself with like brilliant people, who you hope will get you all of those things. But really my aim is to just be really good at what I do, so that the manager's job is easier to get me on those shows. You know, I think the problem sometimes in the past is that I've ended up trying to manage with the managers,
Playing people. I have this comparison between business and sport. We were talking about football earlier. I'm a Liverpool fan. You don't have Mo Salah taking a goal kick.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put people, surround yourself by good people.
Interesting,
but put them in the right position.
Yes.
Have Alisson Becker in goal.
Yeah, man.
Play Mo Salah on the right hand side, and have that backbone, that structure.
Because everyone's brilliant, but you know, in the right place.
We've got to be that team.
Yeah.
And if you have that high performance team, that's when you'll get.
I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's got to be high performance. They've got to be good enough. And I think the problem is, sometimes with me, I would end up co-managing because I didn't have a good enough manager, or I'd end up, editing videos because my videographer wasn't good enough. And really, the brutal truth is, you just got to get a better one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
You do. I feel like my team now is great. Everything about it is, exactly how I want it. And we're all good friends, and the managers now are. Good God, they're life-changing.
Shout out to Jenny. I'm Team Jenny, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny. It's changing my life. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So what does downtime look like for Billy? Like, where do you like to go out locally, and what's your favourite restaurant? What's the...
Oh, so my local's the Abington, so I always get spotted there. That's quite funny.
Or the Mail Coach.
Yeah, the Mail Coach, yeah. I was there yesterday, actually. I really like Nuovo. I think that's probably one of my favourite restaurants, actually.
Stuart.
Yeah. Oran Pho as well. That's a really nice one. It's a Vietnamese. Really good. Yeah.
Where's that?
It's near Argos in the car park.
Okay, yeah.
It's really good.
Where Time and Ember used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, man. Just like eating good food and chilling out. Really seeing friends. I mean. It's weird now. I'm newly single, so I'm kind of like getting used to life alone, really, and I'm kind of loving it. Really, I'm really enjoying it. Sometimes I had a pizza in the bath the other day. Do you know what I mean? It's like because I can.
Because there's no chance you having a pizza in the bath.
I'm on my own. Yeah. No, it's great. So I'm just sort of I'm enjoying that lifestyle.
Yeah, good for you. And who do you like listening to?
Who do I like listening to?
Who's on your playlist in your car at the minute?
Jungle, the band Jungle, not the genre. I mean, to be honest, Tame Impala, I'm obsessed with. Parcels. I mean, I'm really into like chilled, like groovy kind of like funk music at the moment, which is really interesting. But I just like having it on in the background. I just like vibing.
Would that change depending on the time of year?
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't really like sad music. I don't really listen to emotional music, which is quite funny, really. I mean, don't get me wrong.
But you've only really got I think you've probably only got, I would say, 2 or 3 deep songs. I Could Use Your Friend. Hard Act to Follow is I suppose a little bit, but not. Yeah. But you've only probably got 2 or 3.
Yeah, the album's quite poppy.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. And it's one of those you can just press play.
Yeah, man, it just goes.
It just goes. Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you think that, man.
Like last night.
Oh, I love that tune, man. That flopped hard as well. That's like the worst selling song on the
most human beings can relate to that. But Kamikaze, I think, is a really good tune.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love that album.
So I think that album is definitely one of those you can just go.
Yeah, great.
In the background.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the sad music, I listen to Capaldi and
I wouldn't say
Adele
sad. I'd say that's powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful. Yeah, it is powerful. But I normally listen to it just for like reference, to just be like, okay, like that's what he did there, and maybe I'll try that here. But I don't really, I don't know. I'm more of a podcast guy, if I'm honest. I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm just obsessed with learning things, and although I don't know, I'm in a sort of a John Mayer world at the moment, and I can't seem to get out of it. But hopefully one day I'll get out of that.
So listen, we're coming to the end. I always ask all of our guests one question. If you were having dinner at Nuovo tomorrow night with 4 people, past or present, who would they be?
Oh wow, Jeremy Clarkson. It's so controversial. I love it. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, good. This is a good one.
I'm going to lose half my fan base saying it. Louis Theroux. And who else? Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie O'Sullivan?
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of snooker or just Ronnie?
Huge fan of snooker. Yeah, really? I love it.
Again, another sport that we've got some really good talented people locally. Sean Murphy.
Oh yeah, Sean Murphy. Yeah,
I
of
went to school
course.
with him.
And Kyron.
Yeah, Kyron Wilson. Yeah. Very talented individual he is.
Yeah, man. I think he will win it. The World Championships is in his sights eventually.
I'd go with that. I think he's got
everything.
So dedicated mindset as well. He's got a good family behind him.
He has, yeah.
His brother, I think, represents.
Yeah, his brother's his manager. Yeah, his brother's a really good man.
Yeah, he was a PT at Kettering Park. He's a fitness guy.
Really?
Yeah, because and it's interesting actually because I haven't watched Ronnie's film, but
it's incredible.
Big into running.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and I'd be interested to know because Taylor's a PT at Kettering Park, whether or not Kyron's a fit lad anyway, but whether or not how much of that just for the mind and concentration because there's only so many hours a day you can be practicing snooker and to get away and
it is quite intense. I mean, they're walking around the table for hours and hours and hours.
In silence. It's not like you're at Ali Pali, where you've got
focused.
fans and stuff. You've got to be...
Yeah, man.
Some of those frames can be an hour.
I know. I really want to go to a match, actually. I've been becoming friends with Kyron recently, and I've invited him to one of my shows, and I'm sort of thinking...
He's a Chelsea fan, though.
Oh, is he? All right. Well, I'm kind of waiting for him to return the favour here and get me tickets to the World Championships in Sheffield.
Brilliant. And just finally, like, what's the dream?
I'm living it.
You're living it.
Yeah, this is the dream. I'm doing a European tour. Got fucking so many massive tunes out at the moment. I can't really believe what's happening. I'm so grateful. I'm literally living it right now.
What a great way to end. Billy, thank you ever so much, mate. I wish you all the very best for the rest of 2024 and beyond.
Thanks, man.